It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by Scooters Coffee and Rescue Towing. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to your Friday. It is April 5th, and we are waking up with widespread frost in the Ozarks. It is a cold start to the day with temperatures below the freezing point. So if you're listening before you head outdoors, well, just keep in mind, you might need to plan a couple of extra minutes. Scrape the windshield this morning. There is some frost around in the Ozarks, and we have a frost advisory out. That's going to last until 8 o'clock in the morning. So a few more hours to go there. I hope you had a chance to cover up the sensitive vegetation if you had it out already for the season, because we are already seeing temperatures that are well below the freezing point this morning. Upper 20s, low 30s area wide, but it won't stay that cold for long. It's a frosty start to the day, definitely, but temperatures warm up pretty quickly, and the winds remain out of the north today, but I think they're fairly light, so we are looking at much better conditions. I've got mid-40s by the time mid-morning is here. We're heading to the mid-60s for highs today. So widespread frost, I think before 9 o'clock in the morning, and then it's a thing of the past from here on out. We have frost advisories for most of the Ozarks, as I mentioned, until 8 a.m. Actually, freeze warnings back in central Missouri and up closer to the St. Louis area. Temperatures there this morning, I've been looking at some of the gauges, and numbers are in the upper 20s in a lot of spots. So definitely a cold start to the day. Not too unusual for early April, but now that the growing season has begun, we always have to give those watches and advisories to let people know to cover up the sensitive plants. Mid-60s are in the forecast today, though, and it's going to end up being a beautiful afternoon. The winds will remain light today. I told you they'd stay out of the north, but they'll be light, and with the sunshine, temperatures in the mid-60s, I think it will be a very pleasant day to get out and about. Really a great day to end the work week and the nicest day of the week so far. The weather map shows a big blue H right over the center of the country, and that means high pressure is in control of our weather pattern. Not a lot in the way of cloud cover today. Winds will remain light for us. Really, all the action is out on either coast. We have a lot of activity over the Rockies with a very powerful low pressure system there. Also a low pressure system moving up into New England. That's going to wrap up the heavy snowfall event that's been ongoing and allow for just some unsettled weather for the East Coast. Near 70 degrees in the Ozarks, both Saturday and Sunday. So the weekend preview, temperature-wise, is looking pretty nice. I must tell you, though, that with that warm-up comes a strong wind again. And I think it looks pretty breezy around here, both Saturday and Sunday. Winds could gust in excess of 30 miles an hour. So while the temps will be warmer, it will be a bit breezy if you're trying to get any of those outdoor activities in this weekend. Temp's nice, but the trade-off is the wind as we head into the weekend forecast. We also have some shower chances that are possible this weekend, but don't take that to mean that the weekend is a washout. It's not. The best chance for rain actually comes very late. I think after sunset on Saturday through dawn on Sunday morning. So it'll rain while we're sleeping. Only if you're camping or something do you need to be concerned about the shower chance, because really, I think for most of us, we won't even notice. We'll have partial sunshine back in the forecast both Saturday and Sunday. Those rain chances existing late Saturday night into early Sunday. And then I have shower chances that return for you as we head into the early part of next week. 65 degrees for the high temperature today in Springfield. On Saturday, I'm going 70. On Sunday, I think 72 degrees is a pretty good bet. There will be a few places, both Saturday and Sunday, that end up making it to the mid-70s. And I expect that we'll hold on to that rain chance late evening and overnight hours Saturday night through early Sunday. So it shouldn't get in the way too much of the weekend plans. I think you can still get out, mow the grass. It's growing like crazy after the rainfall event that we had earlier this week. And now we are talking about much more spring-like temperatures in this weekend forecast. Around the country, it's not been very spring-like, especially up in the northern tier of the country and the northeastern portion of the United States either. I mentioned that heavy snow over New England. It's wrapping up with the heavy snowfall, but still high wind, rainfall in the Ozarks as we head into the weekend forecast. We have just a shower chance. The heavy rain is staying out on the East Coast. Also, high winds are likely for the central Great Basin and the Four Corners region. That's going to lead to some critical fire weather conditions for the central and southern high plains. That will be in place all over the weekend. So you might hear about those things in the national weather headlines. All right, it's time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister trivia question for the day. This one's kind of fun. Have you heard of these toys? I know I have. What toy introduced in the 1950s drew criticism for being potentially dangerous? Do you think it was A, super elastic bubble plastic, B, creepy crawlers, C, Gilbert Atomic Energy Lab Kit, or D, the Austin Magic Pistol? Well, all of these have an element of danger. Maybe not the creepy crawlies, but an element of danger to all of them. Digesting plastic bubbles, magic pistols, and all of that. But you might have guessed this one. This is the one item that I had not heard of as a toy, but it did exist. Released in 1950. The answer is C, the Gilbert Atomic Energy Lab Kit. That's right. It was a toy lab set designed to allow children to create and watch nuclear and chemical reactions using real radioactive material. What? This really happened, guys. The Atomic Energy Lab was released by the A.C. Gilbert Company in 1950. And people thought it was cool at first, but the sales were not very good. Number one, because the price was $49.50, which back then was a lot of money, a very expensive toy. And then once it was on the market, it drew all of this criticism and it had to be banned because it actually contained small amounts of radioactive particles and a bit of uranium ore. It failed to sell very well because of the price, but then people were hearing that it was actually toxic and dangerous. So they pulled it and it made the top 10 most dangerous toys ever. It's number 2 on the top 10 most dangerous toys ever because of the radioactive material. If you're curious about the number 1 toy on that list, it was lawn darts. I have heard of these. In fact, I vaguely remember my dad telling me that he had lawn darts, like the real ones with the spikes. I know they sell a version now that are plastic or have rubber tips on them, but they used to be just like big metal spikes that you were encouraged to throw across the yard and play darts and stick those things right in the grass. Lawn darts took number 1. The Gilbert Atomic Energy Lab Kit took the number 2 spot. So if you guessed C, that is the correct answer for the Brain Twister trivia question today. Here's the question that I'll leave you with today and have the answer for you on Monday morning. What's your ostrich knowledge? Which statement about ostriches is not true? Do you think it is A, they can run faster than horses, B, male ostriches roar like lions, C, ostriches have 3 stomachs, or D, ostriches hate other animals and will not interact? Which of those 4 statements is not true? Think about it. I'll let you know the answer. That happens first thing on Monday morning. By the way, you can head on over to the website to enter our Brain Twister trivia question. Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather and your radio home for the St. Louis Cardinals are giving away this week's prize. 105.1 The Bull has your chance to win a pair of tickets to a St. Louis Cardinals game Saturday, May 4th. 2024. You just got to get a correct answer on the Brain Twister trivia question, and you could be a winner for a pair of tickets to the St. Louis Cardinals game on May 4th. Head on over to the website, check it out there. Thank you so much for listening, and a big shout out to our sponsors. Thank you, Scooters Coffee and Rescue Towing, keeping everybody fueled and moving out there around the Ozarks as we head into the weekend. Hope you have a great one. Enjoy the mild temperatures. And I expect that we'll see more rain chances as we begin next week. So I'll chat with you then on Monday morning.